Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today we're going to be doing a smothered chicken, potatoes, and vegetables. So in this skillet I have a little bit of canola oil. A little bit meaning probably 2 or 3 tablespoons. I don't measure it, I just pour it in just enough to sort of, you know, coat the pan. I don't want it greasy, I just want it to create a surface that's not so sticky. So I'm going to put my heat on about medium-high, and I'm going to wait and let this heat up a little bit. It should only take a few seconds. And I've got some, probably about 5 yellow gold potatoes. I don't peel my potatoes because I buy this particular potato where it's paper thin, so you don't need to peel it. I just chopped them up. And today, the chicken that I'm going to be using is organic thigh meat. But you could absolutely do this with any part of the chicken. You could even do drumsticks, which are real inexpensive. To go and just buy a package of organic drumsticks and put them in here. It absolutely is about the same thing. And the only thing I would do with the drumsticks would be remove the skin. But this makes a wonderful smothered potatoes and vegetables. It makes a wonderful one skillet dish for when you're in a hurry. Okay, we're going to add in our potatoes. And we're going to need to salt and pepper the potatoes. So I'm just going to use a little spoon I have here. I'm just going to salt them. This is just kosher salt, and you can salt and pepper to taste. Some pepper, and I'm going to use a little bit of poultry seasoning, just a few shakes of poultry seasoning. I'm going to use some Creole seasoning, just a little bit. I'm going to use some dehydrated onions. I'm going to use probably a tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic that we did. Excuse me. I'm going to use a little bit of celery that I've chopped up. And I'm just going to brown the potatoes really well. And you're going to want to move them around as best you can. Everybody in the pool. As long as you're moving them, they're not going to, you know, if you don't have a non-stick pan like this is my grandmother's skillet, so she didn't believe in non-stick for some reason. And I'm just really making sure the potatoes are getting coated with the oil and they're getting mixed in with all the seasoning. Okay, we're going to let this brown up a little bit, and then I'm going to add in the chicken, and then we'll brown up the chicken, and we'll add our vegetables, and then we'll add our liquid, and then we're going to cover it and cook it. So we'll be right back. Okay, our potatoes are browning. And as you can see, everything, all the bits are in the bottom of the skillet. I've turned the fire or the heat down to about low, just to slow it all down so I can get the chicken in here. If you wanted to add a ½ cup of chicken stock, you could add that chicken stock at this point, cover it, cook it for 15 minutes, and you'd have smothered potatoes. But today, this is smothered chicken and potatoes with vegetables. So I've added some red bell pepper in here, just a little bit. I'm going to grab the chicken, and this is just chicken thigh meat. toss this around. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to my chicken. And a little bit more of the Creole seasoning. And my mother, being from Louisiana, would add red pepper probably at this point, but I'm not going to. Okay, so we're going to let our chicken brown up and cook down, and turn our fire up a little bit. And when we come back, we're going to be ready to put the liquid on it and cover it and smother it. So okay, we'll do that. Our chicken is about ready to go ahead and add our liquid. I'm going to add a cup of organic vegetables, and it's just a mixed vegetable. It's got carrots, green beans, corn, and peas, I believe. Basically all the vegetables I eat. I do like broccoli, as long as it's raw. I'm just adding about a cup, cup and a half, whatever will kind of fit in my skillet here. Okay, I'm going to add, for our liquid, you could use chicken stock, obviously, if you had it. I don't have any that's readily available to me today, so I'm going to be using distilled water, but you could absolutely do the chicken stock. This is 1 cup of whole milk with a tablespoon of cornstarch in it, because we're going to want to thicken this up so we have a nice, a nice gravy. And then to that, I'm going to add a cup of water, or a cup of chicken stock, whichever you have. And I added a tablespoon of butter so that it would help keep the chicken really moist through the cooking process. People say it doesn't work, but I swear by it. Okay, even though this looks really full, we're going to put a lid on it. We're going to turn it down to medium low, and we're going to cook this for 25 minutes. And then probably about 20 minutes I'll check on it and see how it's doing. The yellow gold potatoes do not take a long time to cook. So, but if you're using a russet potato that you peeled and chopped, those take a very long time, or I think it take a long time, at least half an hour to cook in a skillet like this. So I would recommend you cook it a little bit longer. This is just my recommended time for everything I have in the skillet. And I'm going to serve this with some fresh yeast rolls that I'm making. I've got the dough going in the bread maker. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this. Let me get a cover. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this covered, and we're going to let this cook, and when it's all nice and done and tender, we'll be back to take a taste test. Okay, we're back, and it's been about 27 minutes, and our smothered chicken potatoes is ready to eat. And the chicken thighs, the reason I chose chicken thighs is because they cook so fast. But you could actually, with this spoon, you could literally cut the chicken with the spoon. And this is dark meat, so it's going to be really juicy and tender. All right, we're going to serve it up. If you would like more recipes, or if you'd like to follow us on Facebook, you can do so by clicking the link in the description box. And I hope you come back and join us again next time for our next recipe. I'm making yeast dinner rolls, and you're not going to want to miss that. They're super easy. They have a sort of a sweet side because I add a little bit of a sweetener, and you'll want to watch that video. And you can also check out our blog, the link below. Please give us a thumbs up, share our video, and subscribe. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day.